Hey, are you gonna hang on a call and I'll hang the others or something?
I was just gonna watch the gameplay. What did GlutenSnake do? Did he? I don't. Okay. Let's see what. Okay, he's taking damage from all the way over here. Wait. How are you? Oh, that's freaking. That's Paige's. Wait, let me look at the other lane. What? I can't even see what he's looking at. What's happening here? It's the competitive mindset. I find more fun in competing than doing silly willy shit. Yeah. I'm with you on that one. Who would have like a crazy ability? Furnace would. They all bought it, right? Wait, why can't I see what everybody bought? Oh, I guess the item's like... it's not viewable, I guess. Let's see. Let's see Billy. Show me that one. Huh? Wait, why was he over there? Bro, what is happening? Let me see his ball. Let me see the ball, bruh. Show me the ball. I can't even see. Wait, enable camera control. Oh my gosh! Wait, can I go up? Look at this! This page is annoying! Look at the ball! They got a kill with it too. Wait, I should spectate the game like this, bro. Like they're giant. They're already gonna take it at 2 minutes. Because of 7. Are we serious, dude? Oh my god, look at the call bell. Wait, is there a way for me to go faster? I want to be able to like get to the other parts of the map. Yeah, and Paige is just tearing the like it's just completely burnt over here. Okay, let's see what madness is going on over here. By the way, bro, I love the Deadlock map, bro. Like out of all MOBAs, this map is the most likable. Like, look at all of these buildings, bro. You know what type of stories they could tell? Like, in the middle of the cursed apple, like, on the 72nd floor or something. Something happens. And then they like, tell a story with that. I don't know. There's so much. Yo. Whose is this? Who puts that on the ground? Oh, that's freaking great talent. You're getting caught by that no matter what. That's gotta be toxic, bro. They should get escalating exposures. Yo!
They destroyed the Guardian on blue.
Okay, he took the blue Guardian. As expected. Wait. Looks like Kenki's about to... What is that? What? How are you taking damage like that, bro? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go. Okay, he's healing. Oh, Daichan's disconnected. Who else could be doing something crazy? Let's look back at the 7. Man, they already took everything. There's nothing really over here to look at anymore. Let's look at people fighting. Let's look at Ivy. Show me something. Yo!
I'll do my part.
It's just hitting him! Oh my gosh! You have to go all the way back to spawn. But no, that's the wrong person. Is it? No, it's not. Wait, did that hit him? There's no way that hit. Oh my gosh! The dynamo ults. Okay. Let's do like a more cinematic angle. Ooh, bro, this page is ridiculous. Look at how far behind her it went, dude. What? That's so unfair. Oh, okay, she's gone though. But like the floor is literally lava. Look at how far the tornado's going.
They destroyed the Guardian on green.
this dude's still tornadoing? No, that's gotta be annoying. Yeah, wait, did Paige respawn and just put it back again? This is crazy, bro. This is ridiculous. Oh, the parry, but the kutsu! Dude! That was pretty clear, I'm not gonna lie. The counter play right there was pretty good. This is ridiculous, bro. This is literally ridiculous! Wait, oh, we got 7. I bet his ball's going everywhere. Yep, look at the balls, bro. Like, how do you even, yeah, just put Paige and 7 right next to each other, they'll clean everything up. This is crazy. Mirage is nerfed in this game mode. Yeah, he's just in the tornado for a light year, dude. Forever. Okay, there's fighting up and over here on Dynamo. Oh, he just died. Bird's eye view. Let me see some. Yo, the floor is just on fire. And you're dead. You're just dead. The rotations, bro. This team's rotating like this is professional. Well, let's see what they got. Rapid recharge, of course. Wait till she gets boundless. That's ridiculous. Oh, the bird. Wait, I want to see the bird explosion. See how far away it hurts from.
Walker is under attack.
I see Paige.
Okay, you can't really see the explosion because of how fast it is, but that was a lot of range still. Yeah, nobody's touching this 7, by the way. And look at this ground, bro. It's like you gotta get on top of a building to get away from that. Oh my gosh, bro! It's literally carnage. You literally can't do a single thing.
You gotta learn to respect me.
Oh my god! Wait, is that also? Look at him go. Look at him go. He just keeps going. He just keeps going. He just keeps going. He just keeps going. Like what? And, oh man, you're getting burned now, and you're getting bebop explosion. Wait, did that cover the whole map? Okay, it didn't cover the whole. No, they're just burning. No, Paige is disgusting. Paige is literally disgusting. The floor is literally lava. You should be ashamed of yourself, Shakoi. Nobody can do anything with this dude on the map.
This is for the audience participation.
Okay, let me go. Bro, if I can I do like this? Oh, I can. This is way better. Okay, to like teleport, I'm just gonna click on the map instead of spectating. Die chance keeps disconnect. Look at this, bro. Oh, there's fighting happening over here.
The Ixion needs to be stopped before it's too late.
Oh, get parried. Good parry, good parry. Oh, he died. Look at the fire. What is that range? Oh my gosh. Yeah, dude. His ultimate and his ball are just covering everything. Yeah, okay. No, that's gotta be fair. No, that's really fair, for sure. Look at that. Look at, you're both stunned. You're both, and they're inside of a ball! They were literally inside of a ball. I couldn't even see it. I couldn't even see the ball. That's how... Lore accurate 7. Bro. Snips, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Broadway is under attack.
Yo! Okay, what's happening over here?
I have eyes on you.
Yo!
A green
Look at how far far back I have to go to see this, by the way. That's ridiculous. Look at how far Dynamo's thing goes. Oh my gosh. Wait, it looks like he's fighting over here. Oh, where is he at? Oh, the page in 7. Let me see something. Let me see something. That's ridiculous, bro. It's literally what happened in Shibuya. What happened in Shibuya? Oh my gosh. Nah, you literally can't see anything. You literally can't see anything. And then there's the Kelvin dome. Like, you can't. What is happening in Shibuya, bro? Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't even like watch the fights to get like the whole scope of everything. Okay, looks like another fight's gonna break out over here.
They destroyed the Guardian.
Let me see something. Oh, there's a death. Another. I teleported too late. I underestimated their range. I don't know even. I don't even play this game, and I'm getting confused. Just don't know what's going. All I see is red, purple, black, and green as well orange. Well, this is a modded version of the game, so like, everybody has greater range. Like they got so like this is a page ability, but look, it's covering the whole thing. Look at Dynamo. Like Dynamo's burning out because of it, and you literally can't go anywhere. He's still taking damage from it. And there's another one, and there's another one. There's another one. Look how far it's going. Look at how far it's going. And now Doorman's also burning to death. In spawn, by the way. Oh my God, he's died! Nah, bro, what the hell? Oh my gosh. Bro, this is crazy. This is crazy. If you ever play this game mode, all you gotta do is play Page and 7, and you win the game. Literally, you win the game. Nah, this is hilarious. Oh, earn fight, earn fight, earn fight. W heal. Oh, show me some. Okay, that didn't do nothing. Let me see some. Kill the Celeste. Let's see the Celeste kill. Cinematic chase scene. Wow, he gets away? He gets away?
I see Page.
Wait. Oh, 7's over here doing some bull. Oh, and Page too. Look at him. Look at him. Domain expansion. But 7 wins because the 7 outscales the support Page. Look at this, bro. Look at this range. That's ridiculous, bro. Okay, let's take a look over here now. Free earn. So Page is the one that is overpowered. Page and look at how far they teleported. Everybody's overpowered right now, but who's overpowered more than being overpowered? 7 and Page. More 7 because 7 outscales Page.
Doorman.
Yeah, he got escalating exposure too. They both got escalating exposure. I can't even keep up with these fights because they're just happening so fast. And you can't even tell that they're happening because the abilities take up so much of the screen.
I see Ivy.
Ivy! You're dead. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're just dead.
The spirit
Oh, you're
of
healing.
the
She's
nation
healing.
came to be claimed.
They both got hit by that. And there's another death. Bro, did I just follow 7 everywhere, dude? Oh my gosh! Look at this! Look at the cosmos! Oh, he died. It doesn't matter because Shikoi. It doesn't matter because of Shikoi. Is there a ball happening? I gotta look up to tell. W Page, oh. W Page! W Page, can you kill the 7? He's on an 18 kill streak. Look at this fire, bro! Look at this fire, bro! Is he gonna die? Is he gonna? No, he's healing. He's healing. They're killing the minions. Oh, Infernus taking green. Looks like he gets it. Yep, there he goes. And he just runs away. He just makes it out.
I'll hit as many as I
Oh,
can.
let me see. Let's see who wins here. The Dynamo and yeah, look at the freaking flame dash. Look at the flame dash. Oh my gosh. Okay, Infernus is also broken. Infernus can literally win this whole game. Infernus can win this whole game. Infernus and Paige together.
Nice work.
Look at this, bro. You literally are underneath it. You're underneath the... Yeah, it's literally burning. They're tasting some mad carbon dioxide right now. He runs away. And he's burning everything in his... He got ulted by Doorman from that far away? Oh my god. Oh, let's see how long he does this for. Oh, man. This is crazy. This is a crazy game. So even though 7's broken, he's losing because Paige and Infernus are like actually crazy. 15 minutes into the game, 101k to 97. They're pretty close still.
I see Kevin.
And they picked up the Earth. Are you serious? There's that's better than the jump pad. Yep. See you later, bud. Is there a fight breaking out anywhere? Oh, right here? Run, Ivy, run! Run, Ivy, run! Run, Ivy, run! Everybody getting stunned.
The urn has been dropped.
I'll hit as many as I can.
Defend the stronghold.
W tornado, man. Very useful.
We delivered the urn.
Oh, another death happened over. Wait, let's see Paige. Let's see what Paige got. Can she make it out of this? Can she make it out of this? Let's see what happens. Everything's in flames. Everything's getting hurt. Everything's burning. Everything. Oh, but she dies. But she dies.
You should selectate per person, then zoom out in big fights.
Okay, but like the fights are just constantly happening. Like, look, another fight's already happening. And they just teleport away. Okay, who should I spectate? Who's getting the most kills? I'm gonna watch Paige. Oh, okay. Paige is dead right now. Let's watch 7 for now, and then we'll watch Paige. And then anytime something happens, we'll just look. You are a freakazoid. Look at he's damaging the whole mid lane right now. Like, what is he even trying to select? And then there's another ball. There's another ball. They're all getting hurt by this ball, by the way. They're all getting hurt by this ball. And then if you look at how big the ball is, look how big the ball is. And now he's ulting as well. Oh, there goes Raz.
Watching you work.
Look at that. Now let's look at Paige. Let's look at Paige to see if Paige can get a kill here.
Want me to dragon?
Like, he's not even... He's not even looking at where he's throwing it! And people are just... Wait! That was behind where he threw it! He threw it the other way! Oh my gosh! Oh, look at this! Like, you don't even know what's happening. Like, you don't even know why you were taking damage against Paige. This is crazy. Why is the ball huge? Because of GlutenSnake's mod. Like, you're just gonna burn to death. It doesn't matter. You're literally just burning to death. He got the kill from 3 blocks down. Oh, you're gonna kill them in spawn, I see. Oh, you don't even know where Dynamo is. He's over here. Oh, he was actually pretty close to him. Oh, another burn. Oh, my big bag.
It's a pleasure watching you work.
And there's a death. W7. Like, what is he even happening, dude? GG's, thanks for the games. I gotta go. All right, Ka. Thank you for hanging out, bro. This is crazy. I was not expecting this to be this crazy. Talon DC'd no pause. Yeah, they've been DCing a lot. The Billy's been DCing a lot. The problem is, like, this is game-breaking stuff. So if you don't have like a really good PC, you probably can't do this that well. I was Talon. Oh, wait, Call was the Talon. He just left. But I need to leave. Oh, okay. See you later, Con. This is. Did you have fun? Did you have fun playing in this lobby? There's the ult. Like, to be honest, did he even need to go down here? My team got it. Are you sure your team's got it? Are you sure? They're playing against a Paige and Infernus right now. Y'all have yet to get a Walker. But y'all did get the rejuve, which is pretty good. Yep. I think Shakoi's probably just gonna get everything. Look at him. Look at him. He's just burning, ticking everybody down. He's literally, everybody's just ticking down. Everybody's just ticking down. Rejuve doesn't matter. Rejuve really doesn't matter when you get a Page on the enemy team. Oh, you don't even know why they're taking damage. They just are. Look at how much damage is being done in the mid lane. Just getting hella money for no reason. Oh, Seven's about to break out. Seven's breaking down in a crazy fight. Look at that. Not even shooting him. Not even shooting him.
It only delays the inevitable.
Is there a ball right now? I can't tell. Oh, there's an ult. The game's bugging out a little bit. You got knocked down like that? That's crazy. That was pretty smart. That was pretty smart by Ivy. Okay, Bebop's close, but he's taking damage from the freaking ball, by the way. Oh! Paige is in base! They're in base! Paige and Infernus! The two goats on Archmother! What, yo, what is that warp stone? And Paige is kind of just deleting everything. I mean, Paige could literally win this. Nope, Shakoi got another kill. He wasn't even looking, by the way. He's trying to kill the shrine. I just needed Echo.
Paige is literally hexing the entire map.
Bang! I bet my Xbox would delete the game and proceed to kill itself from everything going on. Fags. Dude, Wolf, you should get a PC, man, so you can play this game. Like, seriously, next investment, a PC. Or you could get a, the Steam box. I don't know, what's the Steam machine? I think that's what it's called. Like, look at that, bro. They're just ending the game. Literally just ending the game. Like, they literally can't do it. They're in spawn taking damage. They're in spawn taking damage. Like, COD died in spawn because of Paige. And if, look at this! Look at this! You literally can't see anything, bro. You literally can't see a single thing. GG7. Wait, Paige isn't even there. Why did Paige even leave, bro? You don't even need to leave. Literally just sit in the lane and you wouldn't. Wait, hold on, they're dying. Wait, they're dying. Wait, they're dying! Wait! Did he just kill everybody but Paige? I missed it! Oh my goodness. Wait, they have a chance to come back here. 7 is scaling. Literally, even souls too. Just Talon leaving is less of a fight. Yeah, Talon leaving is a little bit of a problem, but it's okay. It's all for fun. And they, bro, the Mirage teleport, the Mirage tornado is ridiculous. It's still going, by the way. That is so stupid. That is so dumb. That is so dumb. Wait, is Mirage fighting? Let's see this fight break out. Let's see this fight break out.
Defend the stronghold.
Look at Seven's ball. He's not even a part of the fight. He's doing his own thing over there. Wait.
won't let you stop me from summoning the patron.
Oh, wait. He tornadoed over. He came to save the day.
Who wins
I
page
don't-
hacks or 7 Japanese curse?
Who wins Page Hex or 7 Japanese curse? I think Page Hex is just kind of too much. I'm not gonna lie. And you also have Infernus, freaking arson, just burning every building at the same time.
Time to get out.
That's probably lore accurate Infernus, by the way. Josh Allen. Wait, somebody's invited me to co-host on TikTok. What is that
The
about? man?
spirit urn is
What is
waiting
that?
to be claimed.
It's literally just in the game. It's literally just in the game, bro. I don't even know what's happening. Why am I so low?
Celeste.
W tornado. W tornado. Oh! Oh, he died immediately. And there's another. Yeah, there goes Paige again.
Good game.
There you go. W Page.
And there, that was fun.
W Page, man. W Page. Nah, GlutenSnake, make more mods, bro. That was fun.
Remember that one?
That was funny.